My name is ADragichCanYouBalance, and this video is for my pre-algebra students. The lesson is titled, Can You Balance? It will clarify the difference between expressions and equations. Students will meet two goals after watching this video. Students will be able to identify expressions and equations, and students will be able to solve expressions and simple equations.
Numbers are everywhere in our everyday lives, not just in math class. They are used to calculate the drop in temperature or knowing if you have enough money to go to the movies. We can solve everyday problems with operations. However, what happens when we use variables? Variables are used to represent a number or some value unknown. In math class, we have to understand you might not be able to determine what the variable represents.
An expression is a statement of value or a statement of some kind of quantity. Numerical expressions consist of numbers and operations. If the expression contains a variable, it is called a variable expression. The value will change depending on the variable. Expressions do not contain an equal sign or inequality. Letters in math can cause confusion for students. Students often question, why can't we just stick with numbers? The reason we use variables is to represent an unknown value. Variables are usually represented with a letter.
An equation contains an equal sign. The equal sign is placed in between two expressions to form a complete mathematical sentence. For equations, you are solving for the unknown or the variable.
You can evaluate a variable expression when given a number to substitute for the variable. Then find the value of the resulting numerical expression. To solve an equation, students use inverse or opposite operations. You want to get the variable alone on one side of the equation to find the solution. You should compare solving equations to keeping a scale balanced. Danielle, can you give me an example of an expression from the list?
X plus 4.
Correct. How did you know it was an expression?
There isn't an equal sign.
Ashley, what about an example of an equation?
5 plus x equals 7.
How do you know 5 plus x equals 7 is an equation?
All equations have equal signs.
Very good. Expressions and equations both can contain variables, numbers, and operation. However, they both cannot have an equal sign. Let's look at an expression to evaluate. When you evaluate expressions, just plug the given numbers in. Who would like to solve the problem at the board? Okay, Danielle, come on down. Evaluate the expression when x equals 4 for 10 minus x. Can you explain how to solve this equation?
First, I substituted 4 in for x. The expression now reads 10 minus 4. I then subtracted and got 6.
You are right. Are there any questions so far?
No.
Now, if we have the equation x plus 3 equals 11, how do we solve for x? First, we know it's an equation because of the equal sign. This is a simple equation, so we could just ask what number plus 3 equals 11 to get the answer.
It would be 8.
Let's review about expressions and equations. They both contain numbers, variables, and operations. Expressions do not have an equal sign and can only be evaluated if the directions state what the variable is. Equations have an equal sign and the variable needs isolated using inverse operations.
Thank you for watching this video. I hope you understand the differences between expressions and equations. The next lesson will involve solving two-step equations.